we've got more of our young men involved in the drug trade. That is because we've got more young men without hope and without prospects for the future.
Warren Ballentine, one of Ebony Magazine's Power 150.
I can't hear you. I'm way up here. What you say?
We got to have leaders who are really for the people, not for their pockets.
The Warren Ballentine Show, heard coast to coast and border to border, giving the truth fighters a voice in the call for justice. 877-373-9766. 877-373-9766. Join the truth fighters in full effect right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now.
The champ is here. 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 The champ is here.
All right, Truth Fighters, welcome to the third hour of the Warren Ballentine Show. You know, I talked about this yesterday, and I had to get them on the show today. I am a huge fan. And anybody who listens to this show knows that I'm a huge fan of The Matrix. And now I kind of have a sense why I am a huge fan of The Matrix. Joining me now is Sophia Stewart and her colleague, Ed Small. Sophia and Ed, welcome to the Warren Ballentine Show.
Hi, how you doing? Glad to be here.
Glad to have you. And Sophia, I want to start with you. You filed a lawsuit, and it looks as though you won the lawsuit saying that, I guess, basically they had stole two films from you, The Matrix, Terminator.
Exactly, because what people don't realize is I have 3 copyrights, and I think that's a lot of stuff that's circulating on the internet and all over the news. People have failed to grasp that I had 3 copyrights, 81, 83, and 84. I had a movie treatment, a book, graphics, special effects, characters, and so forth, because I see a lot of arguments going between people on the internet. And that's the fault of the mainstream media, because they're not reporting what they should be reporting in this news, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, that's why I wanted to have you on, because I do understand that the mainstream media will construe news to make it fit their purpose. So I wanted to have you on to really explain, because somebody called into the show, the first hour of the show, and said, well, if you're going to have her on, ask her how could she have owned the Terminator when she said she didn't know about the Terminator until 2001. Can you address that, or was that an internet rumor?
Yeah, I can address that, because I keep telling people what happened was I wrote a movie treatment first, and they made the Terminator from the movie treatment. And then I submitted the book in 83, and that's where the Matrix comes from. So my book is in treatment is all divided up into past, present, and future. It talks about the woman, Sarah Connor, who is Neo's mother. Neo is just an anagram or just a reversal of calling him the one. O-N-E-N-E-O, O-N-E-N-E-O, one and the same. So John Connor's J.C. equals to Jesus Christ, Neo, one and the same, because I wrote the second coming of Christ, the evolutions of consciousness, man versus the machine. In other words, Sarah Connor is the woman who's part of the 5,000-year-old prophecy that's going to have the baby, the Christ child, that's going to be reborn, that's going to go up against the machines. And if you look at the 3 Terminator movies, the Matrix movie, you will see it's one story going into the other, that the Matrix is in the future and that the Terminator is in the past. But as you see, each movie is going towards the other set. And all they did was divide the story up into 2 franchises so they could make more money.
Now, for everybody who's
story.
For everybody who's just tuning in, we're talking with Sophia Stewart. Now, do we have Ed Small with us too? Is Ed? Are you on the line?
Ed.
We don't. Okay.
Well, he was on the line. I don't know what happened to him, but he was on. So maybe he got cut off or something. But
now, Sophia, we got about 2 minutes in this segment, but I'm gonna keep you on for the whole hour because I'm really intrigued by this. Because you just gave me some information that I never thought of, but now that I'm sitting here remembering the Terminator series and looking at the Matrix, it makes perfect sense what you said, how one is the past and one is the future.
Yeah, because if you look at the three Terminators, you see the woman who has the baby, and the Terminators come from the future to kill her, so the baby won't be born to take them out in the future. So she has it, the child is born, then they try to kill him as a teenager in the second Terminator, then he's a man-child in the third Terminator, and he still doesn't know who he is yet. And it goes into the Matrix, because at the age of 30 years of age, the rebellion or the revolution starts. And the rebels come and they awaken him to his purpose, because he doesn't know yet. Consciously, he's still asleep for his own protection, and he's hidden in the city, because when you're looking here, there, and everywhere, you're looking way out to find him and not knowing that he's in the city. That's why Neo is in the city. Neo is just a sneaky way of calling him the one. And they take him to the Oracle, which is she's the female prophet, because the woman energy, the feminine energy, is the energy of creation.
Ed, he's a filmmaker. He made a fabulous movie, 1 minute and 45 seconds in length, called Hidden in Plain Sight. It's a documentary on copyright infringement. Ed, welcome to the show.
Hello, welcome.
Ed, let me ask you something, because, I read Sophia's story, and what I tried to do was get the real story, not what the media or internet was saying, but the real story. And that's why I wanted to have her on today. Because I understand as an attorney that people rip people off all the time, so I genuinely believe she was ripped off. And I'm fascinated that you took the time to do this documentary about copyright infringement. This happens all the time in Hollywood. In fact, I believe you guys had something to say about James Cameron about something like this. How does this happen every day in Hollywood?
Well, one of the main reasons this is going on is because people aren't standing up for the truth. And the fact that people aren't speaking the truth based on these blatant, acts of violation, these people continue to do it with impunity. It's not entirely genius what they've done. It's not so sophisticated that the average person could not figure it out. But, there's a bit of complacency, I'd say. And in that complacency is how the thieves continue to prosper. So what I intended to do was to step up and just speak the truth and just basically explain that, embezzlement and theft is the MO of what goes on in Hollywood. As more and more people can do that, it would really put a dent in what these people are doing. We have a lot more power than we think we do.
Now, let's talk a little bit. Sophia, you sued for this and you won. What did you win in court?
That's what I want people to know. I uncovered the fraud, and what people need to know is no attorney was ever going to put that fraud into the court system. The fraud meaning that I already had the evidence to prove that I wrote The Matrix and the Terminator. And what I was able to do was put that evidence in there, the 1 minute and 45 seconds that Ed did on CD, showing that they hid my movie treatment in plain sight. The protective expression, the substantial similarities, because Judge Margaret E. Morrow told them in the first court case in 2003 that she would not grant him any summary judgment against me if there were any substantial similarities. So what they did was they hid my movie, 1981 copyrighted movie treatment from the judge, the Articles of Incorporation, Pacific Western Production, which produced that protective expression, and the names of the lawyers. They offered me $7 million to take me and not reveal this information to the judge. In other words, they lost that court case in 2003. What you guys don't know is they fixed that court case. It had nothing to do that I didn't show up for a hearing. I didn't do any deposition. They sent these former attorneys to me, which I got them in the court in Utah for $150 million for misconduct and fraud. So they made arrangements so that none of my evidence would be put into discovery. And Bruce Isaac and David Boring then put in their own fraudulent admissions. Admissions mean that I admitted to something when I had never admitted to anything, nor have I ever seen the admissions that they entered in. So the judge ruled on fraudulent admissions that Warner Brothers and Fox's own lawyers prepared. And that's how they were able to shut down the court case. They never proved that the Wachowskis or James Cameron and Gail Ann Hurd wrote The Matrix and the Terminator. And the Wachowskis lost the case right away, right from the beginning, because they never answered the complaint. They went past 90 days and they never answered the complaint. And Warner Brothers picked them up later. That's why The Matrix was never mentioned in the 2003 court case.
Let's fast forward. Let's fast forward to today. You've won your case. Now, what did you receive in court? What did the court award you?
The judge, I put in for a default judgment. And they did not, my former lawyers did not answer the default judgment. It went past 90 days. They did not answer. The judge got very angry that she had to give me the default judgment. So what she did was she court ordered them to answer within 15 days or go to jail.